Signed, sealed, and delivered. Forge win back-to-back Canadian Premier League shields as they go on to beat York United 3-0 the final, and Forge yet again on top of the Canadian Premier League. Familiar sights, familiar sounds, a familiar feeling for those wearing orange. Welcome to Match Night as we wrap out the outcome as the chase is complete in the Canadian Premier League and we're just about ready for playoff football. Gareth Wheeler alongside Jordan Wilson. Plenty of reaction from across the league. Forge win today. Atletico Ottawa win as well, but not quite enough. They finished 2 points behind Forge. As we take a look at the final standings in the Canadian Premier League, look at this. Wow. Crazy seasons. 56 points would be good enough to win any other year, the league in the Canadian Premier League, but not this year. Nope. As Forge go on to pick up 58. Distant third place finishers. Cavalry, another draw. They haven't won in their last four. 2-2 against 10-men Vancouver FC, who finished bottom of the table. Halifax lose at home to Atletico Ottawa. They finished fourth. That's all important as they're going to host the 4-5 game against York United, who were really second best on the day throughout against Forge. And Valor won today to clinch sixth place. Small consolation for yet another disappointing season in Winnipeg. All-time Shield winners. That's the third third Shield won by Forge, 2021, and now back-to-back 2024 in 2025. We should say no team has ever done the double, won the regular season and the playoffs as well.
Can we just throw in something quick for context, because you're kind of painting that picture? Think about 2 seasons ago where Halifax Wanderers had that great year and they tied Forge in points. That was 42 wheels. Think about that. And they had 39 this year, and Cavalry had 42. And think about that big leap. So we need to put into context how great Atletico Ottawa and Forge have been this year.
An undefeated home campaign. The fewest goals conceded.
22.
Just 2 losses. They went on a 21-game unbeaten streak to start the season. That is a record. We understand how strong Atletico Ottawa were throughout the season. They didn't lose it today, Jordan, because they did pick up the full 3 points. When Forge dropped points in recent weeks, Atletico Ottawa was unable to take full advantage. I feel like the previous 2 weeks is what cost Atletico Ottawa the chance at hosting that Shield.
I think I believe it's like 4 ties in the last 5. That's what killed them, right? With a team that goes forward so well and they can attack and create goals, you got to finish the chances, specifically the one against Valor, because getting the update on your phone or watching that match and seeing being up 3-2, the fact that slipped away, that's the one on October 5th that will really haunt them.
That's the thing with Forge. Okay, like, you need to go out and beat them. They're not going to make mistakes that cost themselves. And inevitably, they're the best team in the Canadian Premier League. It's hard to argue that fact. And as much as fans across the Canadian Premier League would like to see another winner and are probably tired of seeing Forge win, this is a dynasty. This is what greatness is all about. And if you don't like it, someone needs to do something about it. And based on what we saw this season, can you put into context the achievement that this is for Forge?
Like, it's hard to really put into words, to be honest, because I think the back-to-back has one thing to do with it, but people would be like, oh, okay, well, this is just Forge. But look how they rearranged this team. They have a different number 9. Dan Nimick came into this side, and he looks like he's been playing for Forge since 2019. All jokes aside, they fits the bill of how they want to play football. You think of different players that have to reinvent themselves. I look at a Tristan Borges who had 13 goals in 2019. He was like a shifty winger. Now he's like a midfielder that sometimes drifts out, but just knows how to attack and create that moment. So there's a lot to like about his Forward side, but specifically Wheels, we've talked about throughout the season. We cover them every weekend about form and rhythm and confidence. It seems right now that they have all of that. They got the Shield, and now they're 2 games away from going in a double.
You mentioned Dan Nimick. I think it's worthwhile to point out that they lost 3 of their 4 starting defenders in the offseason. Dan Nimick came in, Yevremovic at left back, Razart Rama came back to play right back. And they have the best defensive record. It's not particularly close in the Canadian Premier League. That just shows you how quickly that unit came together and provided a solid backbone for Bobby Smyrniotis to win yet more silverware here in the Canadian Premier League. Let's hear from Dan Nimick. It's his first taste of success here in the Canadian Premier League. That's what happens when you join Forge, and he's in conversation with their very own Christian Jack.
I'm with Dan Nimick in his first season at Forge, who I think came to win trophies like this. How good does this feel?
Feels amazing, man. I feel like a lot of my teammates are used to this, but this is the first for me, so I'm really excited, and we're going to celebrate tonight and then regroup for the playoffs.
What's this season been like at the top of the table, consistently winning games and only obviously losing 2 on the way to a fantastic Shield?
I mean, it feels good, man. It feels good to win games. It's always nice. I think we've got the group to do it, and we're just looking to keep this going now. The job's not finished.
But these moments are unique for players, winning trophies like this. How special is that for you to be able to come over here? And obviously you were excellent at Halifax, but to come to a club that seemingly expects it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still yet to sink in. I'm just trying to enjoy this moment. It feels good. I'm sure when we look back and reflect on the season once it's done, it's something to be really proud of. But right now we're going to enjoy tonight and then focus on the next couple of games.
Final question then on those couple of games. No team has ever won the domestic CPL double. Is that obviously on your mind to try and become the first to do that as well?
Of course. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but that's the goal. That was the goal we set at the start of the year, so we're going to look to do that.
Congrats, Dan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Had a tough season last year with Halifax Wanderers, but boy, did Dan Nimick bounce back this year. Probably one of the favorites for Defender of the Year, inevitably, in the Canadian Premier League as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Asher Johnson maybe has given them a little bit of competition.
Both have been so solid.
They really have.
Yeah.
I think Dan Nimick this season edges probably anyone else because of his passing and the way that he plays the ball forward. But you think about a player that has come to his side and has had to do less, but seems like a better player than when he did at Halifax. I felt like with Halifax, he had to just maybe do too much work. He wanted it too much. And then with Forge, you just have to fit a role. You have to make sure that he was a leader, that he was sound, that he made the passes he needed to make going forward. And when you have everything around you that is cohesive, it just makes you a better player. You see that with Dan Nimick this season.
Is this the best, point-wise it is,
yeah.
Is this the best Forge team that we've seen
it's hard
since
to argue.
2019?
It's hard to argue.
Since their inception.
I think it's hard to argue. I think the word I would use is cohesive. I think the most depth. I still think that, what was it, that 2021 side probably had the most, like, star power. When you're looking at, like Brownie. Like, you look at that team, you're like, yes, but probably not. But I think defensively, I don't think you can question that. When I talk about defense, I mean, Hajabapur is sitting at the 6, the strongest back 4. Keep in mind, their strongest back 4 might not even have Olabi Belawu in it. And with Kalela. So, like, I don't think you could argue with that. But in terms of the group, I would put them up there. I think this is the best Forge.
4 North Star Cups, 3 Canadian Premier League Shields. He's been there for each and every one of them. The leader of men and the man who hoisted the shield on the field just a few moments ago. Here is their manager, Bobby Smyrniotis, with KJ.
I'm with Bobby Smyrniotis, who's got a friend with him. First of all, how special is this group to win this title for you?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I just said it before. You know, it's not only the group, but to be able to repeat. We know how difficult it is to be good over a full season, and yeah, nobody's done it before. We're again the first to do it. This is an excellent group. If not the best group that the CPL has ever seen, and you keep on going. You know, it's been a special season from 24 unbeaten to the cup run and to the difficulties through there to making sure we get through some injuries to this point. It's a grind. It started January 5th. We talk about it. Testament to these guys, new players in the room. They've come along and we've played some brilliant football. We've been able to change up our football, and that's a massive thing to be able to do in our league. We're competing against teams 4 to 5 times throughout. So it's great. But as you see with our guys, they're always a little bit special, and they're laser focused on what's coming up ahead as well.
Winning isn't easy, Bobby, but you've made it a bit of a contagious theme here in Hamilton. But also the way that you play, you alluded to it. In the nation's capital, they're not lifting a shield today, but they've spoken a lot about the way they play. How proud are you of the way that your team plays to get things like this as well?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's 7 years, North American sport, salary cap sport. You tell me the last team to do it in 7 years consistently. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's not a shot in the dark. It's not something we've done over a season. We've done consistently. We've done it with changing faces, changing players, but the football has been consistent. You know, if I can to make sure to do this again, it'd be great. But it's a massive challenge what we had this year, repeating as Shield winners. The mentality of the group is great, and the football has been fantastic. We've seen different versions, different formations, different tactical looks, and that's a testament to these players. They're fantastic. They want to learn. They want to get better, and they know winning is difficult. It's not easy. We don't talk about winning. We just win.
I know you're not comfortable always in the limelight, so where did this story come from about making sure that you're the only one who lifts the shield right now?
Yeah, I don't know. It just came to me after the game. So I always respect my players and the decisions that they make. So I'll carry this around for the team, but this is theirs. This is theirs. This is their hard work. We try and guide them every day. I've got a fantastic staff here. Everyone is laser focused all the time on what they need to do as a staff, and we just try and provide the best environment for these players to go out there and play, and this trophy is theirs.
Congratulations again, Bobby.
Thank you.
We don't talk about winning, we just win.
That's why people hate Forge.
Yeah,
That right
that's
there, if that's on a bumper sticker, that's why everyone in the league hates Forge.
Yeah.
We don't
But he's
talk
not
about
wrong.
winning, we just win.
He's not wrong.
He did crack a smile, he meant it.
Yeah.
From his chest.
Forge have qualified yet again for the CONCACAF Champions Cup. There will be 4 entrants, Whitecaps, Vancouver FC, Forge, and whoever wins the North Star Cup winner. If it is Forge, then it goes to second place. So very compelling. I got to ask you, though, last year they won the Shield. They didn't celebrate. These celebrations are still rather muted.
Yeah.
It's like they've been there before, because they have. But they seem like they're in a better position to go on a playoff run here. Last year, entering the playoffs, they were dealing with a number of injuries. It looks like everyone just about is fit. Nana Mpomo didn't start today, but he was dressed. He could have probably played a role. So are Forge, for you, considering the stiff competition that the others will mount, are they still in a better position to go on and win a North Star Cup this year than they were last?
Yeah, I think so. Based on the attacking options they have, I know Clonaritas, he didn't suit up today, but I know that he's close to playing. Nana Mpomo this past week trained, but didn't start. To your point, he's one that's coming back. So you think about this side with a Borges, with a Babuli, with a Brian Wright, with the players they have, Masunda, Chouanier looking lively, had an assist today. All these players are growing in confidence. The 11 that Bobby Smyrniotis chooses, I still think there's competency, like on the pitch, but also coming off from the bench. So I like their chances, but you think about Cavalry that could maybe heat up. Still think they're a dark horse. Atletico Ottawa as well, that with Anin scoring today and just how Sammy Salta had 19 for the year, you can't put it past these other teams, but Forge is still the team to beat.
One player you didn't mention.
Let's talk about it.
It's the captain, Kyle They have Kyle Becker. This guy wins again. Perennially underrated in Canadian football.
I agree with you.
All he does, again, is win. And we asked him about Diego Mejia of Atletico Ottawa, his comments about his side being the best. He's like, someone has to do the talking. To Bobby Smyrniotis' point, they just go in and win.
It's crazy.
That's all they do. Congratulations to Forge, deserved victors. We cannot wait for the playoffs.
I can't wait.
Next Saturday at Hamilton Stadium. They lost that game last year. Next Sunday.
Yeah,
Apologies.
Sunday, baby.
Atletico Ottawa and Forge in the 1-2 game. The winner of that goes automatically to the Canadian Premier League final.
They're hosting.
But first, Wednesday night in Halifax, they get a home match.
We're going?
We're going to Halifax on Wednesday? We'll be here in the studio.
Nah, I'm going.
Halifax Wanderers and York United. The winner of that will play Cavalry on Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. As Halifax or York, they're going to try to run through the gauntlet all the way to a CPL final. We'll bring you the scores and the highlights elsewhere across this country. It was the outcome. Cavalry do enough to finish third, although they didn't win again. Highlights from Halifax, as well as Langford. All that coming up here on Match Night. The outcome, it is complete. Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson with you. We know the 5 teams who entered the day. We weren't sure which one of the playoff teams was going to finish where. That is being signed, sealed, and delivered. And how about we head to the highlights? Gareth Wheeler and Jordan Wilson with you. We'll start off at Hamilton Stadium, where the champions were crowned. It was Forge FC taking on York United. York needed to win. They needed the full 3 points in order for really to have any chance of climbing in the table. I mean, in the 11th minute, off a set piece, corner kick. Look at this, executed Borges to Chouanier. Borges assisting Hujabrapor, who only scores big goals. His first of the season, Jordan.
Yeah, he always has one for the year, but look, this one was drawn up. And look at this again. Switch from Borges, having fun. Chouanier, drops that shoulder. says bye to Ferrazzo, and Brian Wright puts it away against his former side.
The right stuff. His first of 2 on the day. By the way, his Jab report, goals in the 2021 CPL final, 22 CPL final, both headed goals. Headed goal here today. He only shows up in big moments. Brian Wright, woo! A rocket into the top corner, short side on Urtiaga. The game here was put on ice, and the celebrations, they were on in Hamilton.
Look at that for a finish. Top corner. That's why you say top cheese. You see Stirring. Stirring's there, but he's like, there's no way he... Oh,
yeah.
Back of the net. You got to close him down. This man's on fire.
I'll tell you what, Brian Wright, for all the question marks about him, 4 goals in his last 3 games. That's hitting some form. Entering the playoffs, this is the right time for Brian Wright to heat up.
Absolutely, it
so
is.
Forge were the winners, which meant disappointment for Atletico Ottawa, although they did come away with a 1-0 away win at Halifax Wanderers. Halifax, even with the loss, it was enough for them to finish 4th place. But Halifax, in large stretches, had the better chances in this one, Jordan.
They did. Look at that one that kind of just sneaks away from Coimbra. He's going to want that one back. The touch is so heavy. Right, he just needs to take it a bit closer to his body and put that away. But you think in the first half, moments like this, look at Rea, gets it on his right foot, 20 yards out.
My guy, save. Sean Rea.
He was shifty, but it's a good, comfortable save from Nate Ingham there. But Halifax, you're thinking, you have something in this match, but they just couldn't break that ice. They couldn't just unlock that door.
Yeah. Halifax were pushing with the wildness that was going on in Vancouver. They needed a goal. Coimbra up and over. It looks like Coimbra's still shaking off that rust, returning from a longer-term high ankle sprain.
Yeah, for sure. You could see him. There are glimpses today where he looked like his old self, but it's tough when you think about going against that back 3. And look at this. And then he made his mark from the second he came in. This is moments after he got subbed on. You think this is a pinwheels?
Well, I heard that you say yes. I think that Mekadesh got enough of the ball. I don't like where he's making that challenge from, but I think he actually got the ball first.
Yeah,
so.
he could have. It just looked ugly, right, coming from behind. Antonaro here just taking over. This is a great ball that's played across. Look at the touch from Manny Aparicio, and then Anin, straight power. Top corner, not even top corner really, just hit hard in the roof of the goal and then becomes a hero of the day.
In his first game for Atletico Ottawa, a former Canada under-20 player, has all kinds of hype, was playing in Europe, comes back, signs with our team in our nation's capital. The young man could be a real difference maker come playoff time. He's just in that substitute role, provides a late goal. Atletico Ottawa up 1-0. Then it gets ugly. Aparicio leaves something in late, comes through the player. The Gaga Lapare comes straight through Ortiaga. I mean, the pushing and shoving. I'm saying to myself at this time, calm down, boys. You both have playoff football ahead. A red card was shown to the bench. Initially, we thought this was for manager Diego Mejia. We've got confirmation it's gone to someone else on the Atletico Ottawa bench, or they've decided to give it to someone else. It certainly looks like Mejia was the culprit, but word is coming out of Halifax that Mejia did not pick up the red card, so he will be available next week on the bench. Our very own Mackenzie Barwell are updating me, like, really in live present time right now, and it doesn't sound like it's Mejia.
It doesn't sound like Mejia would also do that in a way. Like, I understand that tempers can flare. I understand it's also very difficult when you're looking at it from 10, 15 yards when the bench is right there. But he knows what's on the line. He wants that crack at Forge. He wants to make sure that he can host a playoff match, a final match. And he knows what next week means. So for me to lose his cool like that, it just doesn't seem like Mejia would do it. It seems like maybe one of his hitmen would.
Well, yeah, we'll try to get confirmation. Of course, Atletico Ottawa, the league, everyone involved would want Mejia on the bench next week. All the work that he's put in, and they're going to go toe-to-toe with Forge at Hamilton Stadium next Sunday. No goals today for Sammy Salter. We thought he might get to 20. Look at this, but 19 on the season to go along with 4 assists. It shatters the goal-scoring record in a season, the Canadian Premier League. Salt Bay's on his way to Sweden next year, and what a way to finish the regular season. With 19, no one, and I mean no one, saw this coming.
And I don't think no one, and I mean no one, will beat that. 19 will be the record for a very long time.
Wow.
19 goals in 28 games. No pens?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Wheels, nah.
By the way, the caution went to assistant Diego Campo. So a different Diego.
Yes,
So there you
Diego.
go. Let's go to Halifax now, and our very own Mackenzie Barwell is in conversation with Mr. Golden Boot himself, Salt Bay, Sammy Salter.
Sam, I know your focus is on that semifinal against Forge, but first and foremost, congratulations. You're officially the 2025 CPL Golden Boot winner. You've also set the record for the most goals scored in a single season with 19. What does that accomplishment represent to you personally?
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Really excited, really proud, and like I always say, it's teamwork, and I'm really happy to have done this with the team. And we, like you said, focused on Saturday, and it's a big game, so really excited for that as well.
Interestingly, you have played with Halifax before. Your career looked a little different at that point. What do you think that version of yourself would think of this moment now?
I think he would be proud, you know, came a long way, and yeah, I'm just happy that I've developed so much these past years, and I think he would be proud, and I say keep going.
We know you're off to Europe soon, but you'll finish the season with Atletico before then. How important was it for you to have a chance to pursue the North Star Cup with Ottawa?
Yeah, very important, because I want to finish strong, want to finish high, and give the fans something to remember, and hopefully this is it, and we have a big Saturday against Ford, so looking forward.
Congratulations, Sam. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Man, it's going to be so much fun to watch. Atletico Ottawa, it wasn't just Salter. I mean, they score 58 goals in the season, the most goals ever scored in a CPL season. And next week, you have the best attacking side we've ever seen against arguably the best defensive side that we've seen in the CPL in Forge. I'm just wondering, like, what do you think is going to come out on top here? You know, Forge is comfortable sitting back and playing against Atletico Ottawa's attack and forcing them into uncomfortable positions.
Yeah,
so.
look how many times these guys played each other this season, right? I think there's 3 draws between the two.
Yep.
So you're thinking about it, that's going extra time, that's going pens, if you ask me.
Woo!
We're going the distance next week.
All right, we'll get to that.
That's next week
We
stuff.
still have more highlights.
Let's go.
Vancouver, the Eagles are flying high. They're already going to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. In order for Cavalry to get that, they got to win the North Star Cup. Vancouver FC's in last place. This is a killer. Sergio Camargo goes down with a non-contact injury in the 20th minute. I mean, he's limped around for a while. This looks like Achilles to me, which, like, you feel gutted for him because he's been so good on the season. Nico Baroniak comes in, but devastating.
Yeah, that would be a huge
They
loss.
lose Camargo.
And just think about the history with him with injuries, and it feels like that was kind of squashed for the past 2 seasons, but that'd be a huge loss.
Now, Tyler Crawford comes in here. Look, he's just trying to stop the break. Comes through. It's high, but his cleats aren't showing. The referee goes straight to the red card and sends him off.
That's incorrect.
In live, I just thought that it was a caution.
No, that's an incorrect decision. That's a yellow card. That's not a red. No chance.
So Vancouver down a man, and Cavalry need a win to ensure they finish third. Moroniak, the substitute, just hacks it home 1-0 through an hour of play.
Look, that's a toe poke finish, is it not? I don't even think it's
pragmatic poke.
Look, I don't even think that's one of those indoor pokes. That's not even like. Oh, the fact that he probably thought at this moment he was the hero.
Dude, I love me some Eagles under Nashi. Callum Montgomery. Not the first time we've seen that this year, by the way. Pate Endai. Goal number 6, Endai.
Bullies him.
Another good young player. 1-1.
Oh, my goodness. You think, come on, you're in the driver's seat, Cavalry.
10 men.
And he does his infamous celebration as well.
We're not done. Stoppage time. I mean, how many times have we seen this from Cavalry on the year? A late goal, plays it inside, good little touch.
Finish.
And it's Kinesian Alva. He's only played just over 400 minutes. That's his 4th goal. He needs to play more.
You needed him to step up, and look at that. Maybe that's giving Tommy Wheeldon Jr. the go-ahead to maybe play him and start him going into this 3rd-place match.
Guess what? Not done. Tierno Ba goes through, taken down. Penalty given. Perhaps a little bit soft. Is it a hold? Kloppy's got him wrapped up. There's a bump. I mean, ball work for that. David Norman Jr., the former Cavalry man, hits it home. 10-man Vancouver. Honestly, over the last 2 months under Martin Nash, he's earned the full-time job. The interim manager has done wonders with this young group that made it to a Voyageurs Cup final and still fought right to the end. They finished last place. They really are the best, worst team in Canadian Premier League history. I don't think that they're that bad. Once Nash came in, I mean, it brought new life to a group that seriously needed a different direction.
He definitely stabilized the ship. I'm curious to think about a team that gets to come in a little bit earlier and train because they have a CONCACAF Champions Cup. I think about Nash picking out certain players that he likes, you know, the spine of the team, getting maybe 1 or 2 defenders, one to partner with Campagna, another player to maybe lead the line. Do you bring back Mbong? If he can select 3, 4, 5 players, yeah, watch out for Vancouver. They'll be a playoff team.
Wow.
There's no chance they're finishing at the bottom of the barrel, not with Nash behind the wheel.
As for Cavalry, it's an unfamiliar position. They finished 3rd. They haven't won in their last 4. And although the team on paper is very good, the way they perform has left us wanting more.
Yeah.
Let's hear from their manager, Tommy Wheeldon Jr., and his thoughts after this 2-2 draw and a 3rd-place finish.
Here with Cavalry FC head coach Tommy Wheeldon Jr. after a 2-2 draw at Willoughby Community Park. Tommy, what did you make of that one?
It was a chaos of a playoff game, wasn't it? I thought we were very controlled against an organised side first half. We asked for a little bit more when we got into zone 4 of some goal action because I thought that was the last little bit. Look, conditions were a bit different. And then second half, I thought we did that. I thought we applied ourselves really well. I thought Nico's was a great finish, you know, because the lads were slipping on the ball. I mean, it was one of those that he took, little toe poke. I thought Kanija was great as a front man. And then I've no idea why we shot ourselves in the foot because it's a 1-goal game and as a dress rehearsal for a playoffs is just defenders defend, attackers attack. It's very simple. But we responded and I thought we responded great. Kanija again, great turn and finish. And look, I think it's a soft penalty, we know that, right? But he's going to even up and referees in here are going to want to feel like they're going to have to do that when they've made a bold call the other way. So I understand it, great rehearsal. We took control of what we need to do and I think we finished 3rd, so we have a home game.
Well, that's it. Maybe not the way you wrote it out, but you got that. You get the midweek off. You get to play at home next week, and just how important it is having that a bit of that advantage and avoiding that 4v5.
Well, I'll be honest. Look, we've got lads that are knackered coming back from Asia, Europe, Africa, like with 2 days prep, having to travel, playing in a different situation like this, and a few lads are battling sickness. So, as you've seen with some of the subs I had to make, it was forced. Sergio, hopefully he's okay, but his calf didn't feel good. And then Brad, I think there was a concussion protocol because his head was spinning all over the place. So not ideal, but that's playoff football, is just find a way, and today we did.
And as it stands, you're still the North Star Cup defending champions. Just what's kind of your message to the group heading into this defence?
Yeah, so I hear. I think people forget that. We've got good repetition at that and really good home record. So what we've got to do now is take care of business. So whoever's, York, who finished 4th. Halifax, okay, there you go. So whoever comes out of that game, we know we've got a very good game on the weekend. But what we'll do now is take the time because we need to recover and just get back to basics.
Awesome. Thanks, Tommy.
All right, thanks, Al.
Looking on the bright side, he's going to be confident. He's told me this multiple times that he still thinks they're in a position to go on and go back-to-back winning the North Star Cup. I have more questions, though. Their away form hasn't been great. And the players, like the band is back together. All the familiar faces with the addition of Gauthier and Tigny have come into this team and arguably could be even a better group than last year. But for whatever reason, it's just not clicking. The process looks good at times, but the results, they haven't won in their last 4. They have a really poor away record. Is it going to happen for Cavalry this year? That's the question. There's no doubt they're very good, and these are very good players and champions. But is it going to click this year in your estimation?
It's tough to say because when I think about it, on paper, great side. Tommy Wheeldon Jr., there's still a lot to like. But look at the first goal they gave up today. There's no world that happens last year.
No.
That ball's in the stands.
Yeah.
Dan Klomp's dribbling out the back. Like, there's no world where... and I'm not trying to slate Montgomery. Mistakes happen. You can look at my highlights and lowlights of when I've played. I had some doozies. But at this moment, with 1 win away and you secure that 3rd-place spot and you get that momentum, you just think it could happen next week, but they're running out of time, Cavalry. And I believe in this side. I said I wouldn't want to play them. They're probably my least favorite team to play in the playoffs right now, but they have to prove me right. Flip the switch, because they kind of turned on the light a little bit today, but it was flickering. Flip the switch on, and they can actually be a team to beat. But next week is the time, Wheels. They got to do it next week.
I don't think Cavalry lost a game after the month of June last year.
Yeah.
And this year, where are the wins?
Up and down.
Up and down.
Yeah.
1 step forward, 1 step back. One more game to get to in the outcome. It was a battle for 6th place. You're not going to the playoffs. It's Pacific and Valor. Valor ran away with this one. Look at this questionable defending by Pacific. What is going on here? Miles Morgan, the 20-year-old, had a day. His first of two, 1-0 Valor.
Look at that for a finish. The
Where
ball
is
over top.
everyone?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he's all alone, but again,
Yeah, Diego Conix with his second goal.
if you know this Valor side, right-sided corners where Antonoglu can take them, this is their bread and butter. And Konix, he deserves that goal. He's been instrumental to the side since he's come in.
So 2-0. Pacific's at home, trying to give something for their home crowd. Marky Wojciechowski, the former York man, his first goal for the Winnipeg side. Good little finish there. Again, questionable defending.
Yeah. Should have help
Close
there.
him down.
Who can be there for sure. You can't let him go into the box on his dominant right foot
Can't
unopposed.
get worse. Look at this far post.
Oh, my
Miles
goodness.
Morgan, again.
Something about Starlight Stadium he must like.
Leading scorer. I don't think he scored his first goal, Miles Morgan, until halfway through the year.
No.
Ends up with 6 or 7. Decent. I just don't have the official number. Excuse me. Marco Bustos, consolation goal. Scored in back-to-back weeks. Didn't score through 26 games to start the season. Back-to-back weeks. Look, this is textbook for Valor. Late season wins when they don't matter. They have a decision to make with their manager, Phil DeSantos. But Pacific, my word, a rebuild is required.
Absolutely. That's a nice way of putting it for sure. Absolutely.
So here we go. The Canadian Premier League playoff fixture list is set. Halifax, York, one of them will have to go to run the gauntlet. They got Cavalry next, the winner of that Wednesday's game on the weekend. The winner of 1-2, Forge and Atletico Ottawa play next Sunday, goes immediately to the CPL final and will play host. We will chat the playoffs. It's a look ahead next, so don't go anywhere. Is this Forge's North Star Cup to lose? We'll get into it next as Match Night rolls on here on One Side.